Channel. I am Matt Capper, and this is another video on Watcher of Realms. Today we're going to go into the arena with a team I've been using the last couple weeks. I wanted to play with things, play around a little bit, try something new, and I happen to have a unique combination of champions to make an all chaos team work. Ultimately, I don't have Gone, which is too bad because that would make this even better. Also, full disclosure, I don't push high end arena. I'm usually at Platinum. I actually let myself drop out of Platinum 3 into 2. My bad. But I think you can understand and appreciate what's going on in this team if need be. Here's the team, and it's all chaos, led by, of course, the epic, because I don't have Gone, Vladov. Vladov here, not even gear. He's not very important to be used. I should just put gear on him. There are cases where he can come in handy and just kind of help along. Though, like I said, ultimately, definitely not a being used champion. So not a big deal if he's not in there. Actually, maybe we even just get him out of that crit rate one. Maybe that's 86. That's good. So there we go. There's our team. It starts with Vladov. Like I said, here we'll go through it officially here. His gear, he's being placed last. He's just kind of an add-on. But you can see his abilities here. He's at 15, 221 attack. He's got a 1.5 second attack interval with 381 speed, 86% crit rate, crit damage at 228.5. Artifact I'm using on this one is the Flux Pendant, mainly because I have one at 10 and put it on him. I used to use him. He could use the Bleed Pendant, is good too, because I don't use that one on Ardea specifically because of this comp any longer. Next is our Cerberus, and I'm telling you, I didn't even change anything about the Cerberus. He is maxed out except for his A1, or whatever you want to call his skill 1, his basic. The gear I have him in is actually in some Ageless Wrath, but I do put him in the Immortal Warrior because I use him in the Immortal Codex. He's really good in that one Immortal Codex, so it gives him more survivability, and ultimately, I could actually re-gear him to be even more dangerous if I built him out higher attack and less with that survivability. But I'm a lazy bum. I'm a lazy bum. I don't like changing him in and out. So at some point, I'm going to re-look at doing this. But it just shows you that this is going to work really well. And with some min-maxing and actual min-maxing it, you will get much better. But he does have a initial block of 2 at 1.7 second attack interval, 275 speed, 81 crit rate, 310 crit damage. The most important thing here, of course, there's two things. Number one, he's got a quick return time, so if you need to, he's got a very low initial placement cost, and we have him in a Lunacy Visor at 25. Full maxed out Lunacy Visor, which gives you that extra 1 block and that self heal, because he cannot be healed externally, but he can heal himself, and that's very helpful in this particular comp. The next one up is our Sargak. I have fallen in love with this champion. I actually used a reset on him because I wasn't in love with him at the time, but the more and more I use him, the more and more I like him. This guy is an absolute beast. I'm using him all over the arena, sometimes in partner with Silas, in like single target DPS, that sort of thing, but in this case, part of the AOE Chaos team. And let's take a look at his stats. He's at 13, 132 attack with a 1.0 attack interval, 49 attack speed, 96 crit rate, crit damage at 312, and hitting like an absolute boss with a level 16 Spirit Siphon. I'm working on it. It's my third one. I have the other two on Hex and Silas, and again, don't like swapping things out. So I could min-max him even further, arguably. Right now, that's going to do more than enough for me. He's getting that same target, 7% each consecutive time. This is one that I'm a little bit sus on. Are there other ones? I could argue something like this might. Who cares if we reduce his max HP? Because we don't need him to survive. He's just standing on a pedestal. There's probably nowhere that this is a big deal. Alora, I use that on her. Maybe I could use the Ichor Chalice to keep him alive a little bit because he does self-kill. But honestly, I don't need that. And you'll see why in a minute as we go through the rest of the team. There's obviously a couple different options here. Maybe this one, because he is killing a lot of champions, but honestly, I just like the consistency of the stats. Maybe we'll put him in this. We'll see. I don't think it's a big difference on this champion, but why not? Let's give it a try, see what happens. Next up, the star of the show, Ardea. Ardea is going to sit in the back row and absolutely hit like a truck. She is sitting in, of course, Soulbound Arcana because she does cycle through her ultimates a lot quicker. I currently have her in a a Whirlwind set, sorry. So that's going to give her even more speed. If you look at her total stats, 18,687 attack, 1.2 attack interval at 515 speed, 92.5. I'm apparently adverse to crit capping nowadays. 381 crit damage. Big deal, big hits. And we have her in a level 19 realm tier, which deals increased damage to enemies beyond 1 tile, which is a big deal for this hit. There are a couple that are going to make it to her, which is fine, but she's getting that damage increased by 6% for every 1 tile beyond. So that means she's hitting so ridiculously strong when they're at max distance. And then because it's an all chaos team, I have a healer, and the healer is Dassomi. He is a healer of the chaos units, and he's one of those that I don't think a lot of people talk about. People typically talk about the other healer of the chaos group, but this guy, hey, heroes cost in arena is reduced by 5. He's got this ability where he enters the field, he increases attack by 7% for every 23 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. That is halfway through the base. I haven't put any any crystals into him. I've just put dust. So at some point we might look at doing that. He also grants a shield to 1 ally in range with HP below 35% for 10 seconds. The shield value equals 60% of the target's max HP. This is a big deal because he can then effectively add a shield to specifically Ardea if she's in trouble and needs help, but it's not going to increase her actual HP. So she's still going to get that increased damage with reduced health, like all of them do. His gear, not a big deal. It's just having him in some kind of attack. So 13-6, 1.6 attack interval at 430 speed. With no damage here, obviously healing effect at 113. He's there to heal, but his kit is that he doesn't heal. As we've seen, he does this magic incense. If the HP is higher than 50%, it just dispels a debuff every 2 seconds. Otherwise, it restores their HP based on their max HP and the caster's attack every 2 seconds. And he's got some healing multiplier on that. His ultimate can heal 2 more allied units, granting them magic incense. That magic incense and the potent magic incense are the big deal. So the potent magic incense, it dispels 1 buff per second, otherwise HP. So the reality is, what this all works down to, by the way, potent magic incense will apply 20% inspiration to allies. So we can also get that increased attack buff, which is very strong. As you can see, I didn't have this guy in inspiration gear. It's not inspiration gear. I am so unprofessional. What's it even called? I can't believe I don't have any spare kicking around. Invigoration. Why I couldn't, inspiration was in my head. I don't have him in invigoration, so as you can see, I don't have any extra sets. Eventually, I probably want to put him in that so he can put that 10% attack up no matter what on one champion. But then with that extra talent, he's going to be able to boost people's abilities even further. And that is the team, and that is how we go. What I'm going to do is we'll auto fight it just to show you what happens. Or maybe, well, it's too late now. I was going to say maybe I should manual it. But what we're going to start is we're going to start by Cerberus. Normally, I wait till Cerberus can get his AOE attack at the beginning, but I don't want to do that because I want to make sure to get to his ultimate as soon as possible. And then we're going to put Ardea in the backfield. She's easily able to tank the early ones. And more importantly, she's going to get multiple tile here where she's going to be able to do some pretty strong damage. Like, as soon as they start moving in, 130k, yeah, okay. Boreas being Boreas, no big deal. Now we're going to put Dassomi in there because she's going to hit her first ultimate. Now, when she's losing that health, that means she's going to hit way harder. Now, watch, she can just explode these. Now we put in Sargak. Sargak's going to be available too to really hit them. Now, when he starts losing his health, that's when the fun begins because he's going to start acting like an absolute cannon. As you can see here, look how fast he's swinging. Not even a problem. Actually, I did probably pick the hardest one to go up against because of broken Boreas. He is still broken, though not quite as bad as he used to be. It's still quite considerable. Here we go. Now we put in Vlad just for that extra ability. And you can see, boom, they're dead. Why? Because they're chaos. And yeah, ooh, great. You got a great Boreas there. But what's he going to do now? Is he going to save you? Of course he isn't, because he can only save you truly during his ultimate. We win the victory against probably the most OP duo in this AOE arena, with the combination of both Kamet and by the way, with Venoma, I believe. Yeah, Venoma lead. So you had Venoma lead, and you had a Boreas, a very strong Boreas, and you had Kamet, and oh, if that wasn't enough, you had Hatsit. No matter, instant victory, win for us. Let's do this again. We'll take a look at it. Start. Oh, we're actually gonna fight it. Okay, why not? It doesn't matter. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my boy Cerberus, and I'm gonna drop him immediately so we can get to his ult as quickly as possible. Typically, I'm gonna use the ult on the first vast group. It's not even a big deal, but we're gonna be ready with Ardea as soon as we can. We put her down because these guys sneak over top of him. So normally what would happen is you'd actually run her. I can't pause, can I? No, I can't pause. We'll go down to one time to give me. Normally you'd put Cerberus back one so he can stop those top two from sneaking through. But in this case, we actually don't care. We're gonna do his ultimate here, which is gonna clear this one nicely. And you can see, like, we're just, these ones don't matter. These are just the grow up. Yeah, they might win, doesn't really matter. We're gonna put Dassomi next down, and so that way, once Ardea starts losing her HP, she's gonna be able to get the dispel and never go below 50% HP. He's gonna make sure she stays alive, but because this is a chaos team, we're also gonna make sure that she absolutely hits really hard. Now look at her already. There's that shield like I was talking about. If she was in trouble, it's unfortunately it was a little bit soon. Look at that, boom, 2 auto dead. Now these ones are going to sneak down through. I got to get ready for Sargak. There he is. He's going to go as well. And just the combination of them all together, just going to mow through these champions. We'll put it back to 2x. Like I said, Vladov, it would be nice if I had gone, because then I would say, yeah, gone right in the middle is even more. But we can put him there just as easily. We're going to activate his ult because we want that health loss. This is more important than the ultimate himself. Get him down to that health loss. Get him to do that extra, like, look how fast he attacks. It's obscene. He can actually out-damage many mages, AoE mages, even though he's single target, just because of that ability to watch down. And now we actually got to a second ultimate on our boy Cerberus. We're going to need it here. There's going to be some damage there, but that's okay because both of these are low health. They're going to mow through these ones pretty quick. Eesh, that's getting close. That's okay. We're okay. I actually would like Cerberus to die so they don't go around him. Her ult's going to just mow, just going to melt them. And Sargak's ultimate. Boom. Done. That extra splash, that supposed damage. I mean, these are hard to stop, and this is what happens. Like, let's just take a look at this. These are all the ones you can't stop them under normal means, and that's specifically why I'm using Dassomi here, because with Dassomi, and that's keeping my Ardea at a prime hit damage ability. Is that even a thing? Does that make sense? She's staying low health, which is giving her the extra damage. They all are, as a matter of fact. That's going to help. On top of it, because we're using an all-chaos team, let's take a look at the team again here. Again, all of them have this mechanic around death. Obviously, his is a special thing. He's going to have this water decay. He's going to have the 30% AoE damage every 6 seconds. His ultimate is absolutely obscene. It's going to do, it increases by 100% damage and the slow for 20 seconds. Everything. And then, of course, he's healing himself to keep it around in the fight longer. So that's how he works. But all the rest of them, if you look at Sargak, very important about all these champions. Sorry, go to skills. He actually has a inflicts bleed, which is good. He ignores 50% defense. He reduces his defense by 30%, reduces 10% of his current HP per second, and increases attack by 45%. Each basic attack lands 2 consecutive strikes. So when he's running his ultimate, it's absolutely obscene. And then when his target's HP is below 0, he increases the hero's damage by 20. If the target is already inflicted with bleeds, Blood Spear will do a mobilized state, which is a stun. He's also got this here. Increases attack speed by 10 for every 1% HP, and it's a specialized attack, which is why he looks like he's an absolute autocannon once he starts losing health. And then he deals 120% damage. So you see that extra speed he's getting. He's got all this crazy strong kit, and then he's losing health. By the way, absolutely, you could use Valeria in this comp. I don't find the home for her, to be perfectly honest, because I would love to put her in the place of Vladov, but then I wouldn't have a Chaos lead, which we need for the extra damage to look at. Ardea, same thing's happening, right? When she deals damage to the same enemy 2 times within 5 seconds, she immediately deals 70% extra damage and inflicts bleed. Boom. When it comes to those higher HP targets, she's doing that extra damage, which is amazing. As the hero's HP decreases, her talent's trigger chance increases, goes up to 50% when she reaches 30%. Now, we're not going to quite hit 30%, at least consistently, because she's going to get healed by Dassomi up to 50%. But that's also important to make sure that she survives through some of those waves that will eventually make it to her. And she has to be able to take a few hits. But man, oh man, she's... every time she retrieves her released circular blade, her attack speed is increased by 100 for 5 seconds. It can be stacked up to 2 times. So she's absolutely also an auto cannon. The two of them together, crazy. And then the piece de resistance, which again, wish I had gone, or I guess the new one, Valderon, right? Is that his name? Which would be even more obscene. Is the Lord skill here. So increases faction team members, base scat troops, whatever. Increases the team's members' damage based on their lost HP up to 40% at 30% HP. So 70% to give you 40. So what are they getting? Around 25%, just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's actual math out there. Extra damage. So you're getting all that extra damage boosted together on this team. And the net result is a team that wins, frankly, and wins quite often. Does it win all the time? I don't know. I have lost a couple. Venoma teams actually typically cause me trouble, especially when it's Boreas Venoma. Just that extra damage on their side, and the fact that Boreas is still somewhat broken. But there's definitely more wins and losses. I've been using this team. This is the 3rd week using them. I've been into Platinum every time. This last time I just forgot to do my Sunday battles. Yeah, not really worried about Vierna teams. Which is a common strat, obviously. Again, just no problem. She just mows them down. Once she starts losing health, this is when it's good. And you notice, this is the most important thing. Again, she's never up past 50, because once it hits 50, he dispels. So see, she's always at that 50% mark. She might go down briefly, and then he heals her. She goes down briefly, he heals her, which means she's getting that extra damage. And the best part, if there is one, Cerberus doesn't go. He goes down to that 30%. So he's getting the full 40% damage off of that Lord skill, which just makes this amazing. I'm sure that high-end teams are using Gon, and now especially Valderon, to be able to do this sort of thing. But it's just a next level of damage that I don't think any other teams. Now, if I min-maxed them, if I used better gear on them, I think this would be even crazier of a team. And definitely, the day I get Valderon, I think this team is nigh unbeatable. Except that by just better gear, just way stronger gear. But again, we're 6 in a row. I don't think I've lost lost one yet with this team. I was 1 day, 15 hours, so I haven't lost a defense yet. Doesn't look like I've been attacked since yesterday. So maybe that was this team. No, I think that was one day, 15 hours ago, would have been pre-reset. Yeah, you can see 1870. So I haven't lost yet. Oh, or I could just look at the win rate here. 100% win rate on the AOE. And it's just such a strong team. It's so good. I use it. I love it. I don't. And you can see, by the way, if you want to see Sargak, maybe we should do a feature video on him sometime, because I actually use him in all 3 of my teams now with grand success. I absolutely love him on all anti-air, single target, and AOE. He hits so quickly that he might as well be AOE. Like, you think how slowly it takes Comet for each of his splashes. This guy's thrown 5 damaging, high damage single target hits that double up during his ultimate, right? Or if there's a bleed, I believe, or because of his passive, that he's doing up to 10 before Comet gets his 8. So I mean, honestly, he can keep up with AOE content if you have him. But overall, loving the Chaos team. Please get me here. Let's just talk about this for a second. How much better could it be if they didn't move the gallery? Whatever, they moved the gallery, we'll figure it out. You go to the Chaos Dominion, give me Valderon, because that would be absolutely obscene. Could you imagine this group going, right? Because now you get that when a faction lord is deployed, damage equal to 50% of current HP nearest units, increasing damage dealt by 30 and reducing his damage received by 20. Each unit damage further increases Valdron's damage dealt by 5. Like, this is just obscene. You know, you've got that arena lowered cost as well. You've got chaotic annihilation. You've got all this crazy crap that he does. This would, I don't know if this would team. Just can I kill them quick enough? Because this team would never lose. I would go through every stage with it. It's obscene. So give me him, but I'll take Gon too. He's defensive, which I'm okay with damage based off of defense too. But there's the team. What do you think? It's a dirty pay to win. Well, it's a dirty, mostly pay to win team. I agree. But what do you think of it? Is it something you would use if you had the champions? Am I crazy? Do you think it's going to scale very poorly into higher end platinum if I don't just push 2 platinum and I try to push further into whatever that platinum 2 is or whatever it is? Do you think that could keep up, especially if I crit capped him and gave him some little bit better gear? I mean, the top 3, the top 2 at least have my best gear on them, absolutely. And I would say, funny enough, even though not in that group, she's pretty high on my gear too. I don't know why Valkyrie doesn't have my best gear. I don't know why. That's how she's just good. Anyway, that's all I have for you. I'm rambling at this point, so what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. But as always, thank you for watching. I am Madcapper, and be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.